only returning for the holidays. Sarah also received an invitation. We barely spoke that night, just a short hi in passing. I glanced at her and noticed her smiling while speaking with a group of women. That smile recalled so many memories. I realized that seeing her smile made me feel exactly the same way I felt the first time I saw it. I wondered to myself, how screwed up am I that I still feel this way despite those residual emotions? I was still saddened and extremely upset by the way things had ended. Looking back, I've started to resent myself. I should have paid closer attention to how she felt. I could have informed her about the additional work and why I was doing it. Perhaps things could have turned out differently. Later that evening, one of my friends revealed that Sarah's relationship with the guy at work had only lasted a few months. After the holidays, I intended to return to the city where I now dwell. My vacation ended on January 6th, so I planned to go on Friday. That way I'd have Saturday to tidy up at home and prepare for the week ahead, and Sunday to unwind before returning to work. Before I parted, one of my buddies from home contacted me. He stated he had a favor to request on behalf of someone else and warned me that I would not like it. I could already feel my stomach dropping. He then told me it was Sarah. She was moving to the city where I live to work for a relative's company, and she needed a ride. He asked if I could take her. I didn't think about it before saying no. The thought of being locked in a car with her for hours was too much to take. It would have been excruciatingly embarrassing, just like the party, and I wasn't prepared to put myself through it. Insisted that Sarah and I talk, but I was having none of it. I returned home, and last week I went for a run. When I stopped to relax briefly at a park, I heard a familiar voice say hi. It was Sarah. She attempted to start a conversation by asking how I was and emphasizing that we didn't get to converse during the party, but I cut her off, stating I didn't want to speak with her. She told me not to be like that and that we should have a chat, but I declined. She questioned how I could still dislike her after over a year and everything we'd been through, but I told her it wasn't resentment. I was quite truthful. I explained that thinking about her, talking about her, or even seeing her still hurts a lot, which is why I couldn't talk to her. She stated that this was exactly why we needed to communicate. I didn't understand the point, so I simply walked away. Sarah has tried to approach me twice since then, and both times I have turned her down. Some of my pals believe I'm being overly harsh and should talk to her for closure. Others argue that torturing her for the rest of her life is unacceptable, but that is not the point of this. I have no her or ill thoughts against her anymore. I admit that I share some of the blame, but it still stings. I can't talk to her because it's like reopening an old wound that has never completely healed. So why are you refusing to talk to her? After reading the comments, the original poster thanked everyone for their advice. The op simply wants to explain things better. Op explained that their friends were not contacting or emailing them telling them to talk to Sarah. It was simply the perspective of some of them when the matter was raised. Update February 2 ND 2025. Hello everyone, I wanted to provide another update and appreciate everyone for their thoughts. I read over each comment, and while I didn't react to everyone, it was only because I didn't have anything to say. I'm grateful to everyone who expressed their opinions. It's been quite helpful. After reading everything and thinking about it, I've chosen to adhere to my choice not to speak to Sarah. I neglected to include it in my original post, but I did notify a few people that I blocked her everywhere after we broke up for the second time over the last 2 days. It appears that her insistence has backfired. Some of our shared acquaintances, including those who first suggested I talk to her, have become tired of her continuous attempts to reach me. They appear to have turned against her as a result of this. Emily, the friend I was venting to at the time, posted about stalkers on social media 3 days ago. She did not name Sarah, but many people understood what she meant. I've also seen a few comments on my initial post that suggest Sarah was stalking Meher Job in the same city, as well as her serendipitous arrival in the park. Support this theory for what it's worth. I know her uncle owns a company here, so that could be the real reason she moved, but that's not my concern and ended going to investigate it. Things have been quieter. Friends have abandoned the subject and Sarah hasn't attempted to contact them again. That was until yesterday. I watched the UFC event with some coworkers. When it ended,